Gym sessions and sweaty summer activities are back, which means more funky smells in your clothes because sweat leaves behind bacteria that causes those hard-to-remove odors. Clorox fabric sanitizer products are ready to zap the stink out of fabrics in your home by getting rid of 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Eliminate odors in every load or sanitize fabrics between washes with one of our fabric sanitizer products. Search fabric sanitizer at Clorox.com to learn more. When it counts, trust Clorox. Use as directed. If you've been a renter, you know it's stressful to find the perfect place. But Zillow Rentals make it easy. They have filters for pretty much everything, so you can find a rental that's big enough for entertaining your friends, but small enough they won't crash all weekend. Find your sweet spot on ZillowRentals.com.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald's. Damon, how are you doing?
We are good. Joel's just hopping in. He's a professional broadcaster now. He pops right in the last minute and just says, boom, we're getting on. No warm-up, no nothing. We're just we're going in and we got breaking news in front of us. Well, maybe not breaking news, but it's I don't know. Is it breaking news? You tell me, Joel.
It is breaking news. We've literally, within the last 3 minutes, got the G1 schedule, as others might say. So, yeah, we'll be discussing that.
That should be fun.
A bit later in the show.
Yeah, that should be fun. I mean, the lineups, as we found out earlier this week, I don't know, left a little open to be discussed. So I'm sure that we'll have some takes on that. And then now with the lineups and the G1, I mean, we're getting out of summer. We just had our Labor Day holiday, the unofficial end of summer. So it's a little weird for us to be talking G1. We should already have crossed that bridge already, but now we will be in full G1 season, and I don't care what anyone says, Joel. G1 is G1, and there is still a little fire inside of me when someone mentions G1 time. So I'm in. Let's see what we got.
So starting off with a nice softball of a question from Sid, and Sid says, "Are you considering to stop watching NJPW?" I'm not considering stopping. No. I have my moments, and I had my moments at the weekend watching the Grand Slam shows. But now, actually, like having these G1 lineups in front of me, put all the shit to the side about clap crowds, whatever. It's a fucking grade 1 climax, and it is impossible. Well, for me personally, not to get excited by that. It's the best wrestling on the planet from an in-ring standpoint, and I know there's so much exciting stuff happening. All Out was a tremendous event. I haven't watched it yet, hoping to watch that a bit later, but by all accounts, it sounded incredible. I'm really excited. It's okay to like both things.
Yeah.
We don't have to pick sides here, Damon. And as we all know, once things get back to normal, these companies are going to be working together. So there's so much to be excited about. And I realise I'm kind of sort of quite bipolar about this. My mother suffered from bipolar disorder, so maybe it's in the genes. But we are just, we've got that, and I know we keep saying it, but just on the horizon, when travel opens up, and it is going to open up at some point, and we're going to get so much good stuff. It's just going to be like an
avalanche
to the tinderbox. Yeah, it's going to blow up. People going surprise debuts in, people coming from the States to Japan, people coming from Japan to the States. It's going to be wild. So I'm not ready to throw dirt on the grave of New Japan Pro Wrestling yet.
Yeah, no. I mean, this would feel like a much different scenario if this were, say, 2009 or 10 or 11, where you just didn't see an end in sight. There absolutely is an end in sight. It's hard for me to even to call these New Japan shows because there's so many handcuffs that are placed, pardon the pun, that are placed on them when it comes to putting on shows in Japan. It's really they're trying their best, and that's the best I can say. They're trying their best. Now, are there things that we might not think stick as of right now, just to get us through from this, just across this bridge over troubled waters? Yes, of course, and we'll talk about that. And we're not going to ignore that, nor are we going to say this company has fallen apart, and it's okay. I mean, I hate to say it is what it is, but it is what it is. We're playing with the cards that we have been dealt. And no, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I see that if and when this gets cleared up, you're right, Joel. There's so much good things and possibilities. Now, if they fuck that up, we're gonna have a different conversation.
So we've got Wrestle Kingdom 17, January 2023, full Tokyo Dome, sold out, and our main event, we're seeing Dick Togo choking Bryan Danielson with a garrote wire, Evil punching him in the balls. Then we can start having some serious complaints. Yeah,
right. I mean, again, I hate to beat the dead horse, but this is us trying to tread water. This is just keep that in mind. And everything that is good and positive right now is a company treading water. And to the other side of it, I mean, look at what's happening in the United States. I mean, there's genuine excitement over what New Japan is doing and able to do in the United States. I mean, look, you had Satoshi Kojima come out on a show in front of 18,000 people or 17,000 people or 60, whatever it was, and with a genuine smile on his face. You had people go batshit crazy over Minoru Suzuki walking out in front of that same crowd. It's there.
And I was going to say, like, New Japan are doing a lot of favors for AEW right now, just giving them this sort of steady trickle of people like Kenta and Kojima, Yuji Nagata, Suzuki, Tanahashi, if rumors are to be believed. So they are doing a lot of groundwork there in building that relationship. So you better believe that when things open up, there's going to be some backs to be scratched.
Yeah, I agree. I would think, and I've said it a trillion times that Tony Khan is a pro wrestling fan. He is a pro wrestling fan before all of this, before ruining English football, before. I mean, he was a tape trader. He was at the ECW arena. He was in Long Beach. New Japan was here as a fan. Look, so okay. So being that we're here and we're discussing this, Joe, I am pumped and thrilled with everything that I've just talked about. Like, I'm generally excited about what potential is there. There is a part of me, and this is me being fucking just how I am and raised and my life experiences. There is a part of me, a little bit of bitterness. We could have been there. That could have been us.
I know. I know. And it's difficult as well for me because with the time difference, like when all this cool shit was happening all out, I'm at my desk teaching kids online. So it's not like I can enjoy it real time as well. And I want to, like, I really want to. AEW's won me over. If I have the chance to watch stuff live, I will, because they're firing on all cylinders. But our time will come, Damon.
Yeah.
They'll all come crawling back. They'll all come crawling back on their hands and knees saying, "Oh, sorry, we were wrong. New Japan's good again." And I'll say, "Sure. How much money you got? Because this is going to cost you."
Right. That's when we open up the Patreon. This is going to cost you. That's when we open up the Patreon. That's when we start that. And we make some fucking money finally.
That's it. The first Super Show that's announced in the stadium, whatever, we're going right behind a fucking paywall, and everyone can eat shit.
Yeah, where were you? Where were you? While we were fucking reviewing Chase Owens, Yano 30-minute I Quit matches. Where were you? where were you? Oh, Lordy Lou. But yes, I am excited. I am excited. And again, it's a tiny bit of mixed emotions. But I do see the forest for the trees. That being said, we are still somewhat in a weird time. We are in a weird timeline when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where, again, we're trying to. The last thing I want to do is give anyone an excuse. Like, I just don't want to sit here and say, well, COVID, and they were handcuffed, and you can only have this many people in the building, and blah, blah, blah. Even that aside, there are things that they could do a lot better from a pro wrestling enjoyment perspective, I feel anyway. But again, they can only deal with the talent that they have. But that aside, I don't think I've ever experienced a situation, Joel, where we have one promotion that is split in half, with one half feeling energetic and alive and possible, and it feels exciting, and then the other side being just this. How are we going to? How is this it? Right? Is this it? And at the same time, both of them trying to get done what needs to get done. And again, this is a Japanese-based promotion, and I say that knowing full well that 2 years ago I sat here and I said, this is no longer a Japanese promotion. This is an international promotion. Or Japanese promotion. That on the domestic side, it just seems such a fucking dry cracker. And the United States side, the side that you would think would have the struggles, is really so much more fun and entertaining. And again, possibilities are endless. So it's just a weird spot to me. So to answer the question, no, because I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I've not. Now, I think it's more logistically of, okay, how can you do everything? How can you watch everything? How can you there's a lot of stuff spread across a lot of different places, and it's not easy to follow anymore. For me anyway. Like, it's not like I pop on New Japan and boom, everything's self-contained. And no, there's shit going on in Strong. There's shit going on in AEW. There's shit going on in Impact. There's shit going on the main show. Like, it's everywhere and it's spread out. And it's like, it's really becoming a bit of a chore to schedule my life to watch all this shit.
Yes, I share those struggles as well. Both of us, we're grown men. We've got shit to do. There's stuff. We've got big boy responsibilities going on in our lives. And yeah, it's hard to juggle everything. So sometimes you got to pick and choose. Like, I know this G1 is going to be a struggle for me personally. I suspect I'll be watching most of these matches late at night after Esther's gone to bed. But all the same, I'm excited. And again, having that light at the end of time. You know what it's like, Ted? It's like the New Japan are, at some point in the future, like I said, they're going to get delivered. All these wonderful, exciting, fresh wrestlers turning up on their doorstep. And they'll be rubbing their hands together, like seeing all this stuff arriving on their doorstep and thinking, oh, what delicious stuff can we come up with all these fresh ingredients? It's almost, Damon, like getting an order from the people over at HelloFresh. So that's us. We're in our homes. We're waiting for those delicious fresh ingredients to arrive, because we know when they get here, we're going to make some tasty meals.
I'm dying laughing. That was really, 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 really good. That one made me smile, Joel. You did a good job. So why don't I hop into my Google Drive?
I've got the link. I can send it to you.
The problem is that it's I can do it off my phone. Sure. I mean, I really don't even think I need to do it off my phone. But yeah, you just send it my way, just to make sure that I cover the points that I need to cover. Because here's the thing, I feel passionately about it already. I feel like I don't even need the copy points because I know, for me, HelloFresh is where it's at. Right? Again, the chores we talk about, some struggle and adult responsibilities and all that stuff. Grocery shopping is probably top of the list, and it's probably one of the things I enjoy least in life. Stinks. I hate it. Well, imagine getting fresh, seasonal, dietary concerned, if that's a word, recipes delivered straight to your door. I mean, the idea of that is fantastic. And the idea of wasting food and getting meals that you're never going to eat, that goes right out the window. It goes right out the window with HelloFresh. And again, there are plenty of other services out there that do roughly the same thing. For me, freshness. For me, variety. And for me, ease of use are the three factors. And HelloFresh nails every single one of them. Right? That's something to be said in a world where, again, everyone's trying to be safe. Everybody's trying to save time. Everybody's got responsibilities right to your door. Family-friendly meals right to your doors that you prepare, that you choose. Fantastic job by HelloFresh. So here's what we're going to do for you, right? So, I love the HelloFresh. Joel, if he could have it in his country, he would have it delivered to his doorstep as well. Family-friendly menu. It's a big win for back-to-school season. Let's make that a point as well. With easy, delicious recipes for drama-free dinners, right? HelloFresh offers, 50 menu and market items? 50 to choose from. Every week, from vegetarian meals, calorie-smart choices, extra special gourmet options. Fantastic. There's something for everyone to enjoy with recipes designed and tested by professional chefs, nutritional experts. They've merged the superpowers of dinners to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. Fantastic. And also, HelloFresh is over 30% cheaper than shopping at grocery stores. Look at that stat, huh? With pre-portioned ingredients that assure you won't spend money on excess food that winds up where, Joel? Right in the trash. Right? We all know that. I do it all the time. Not with HelloFresh. So here's what we're going to do. Sign up today. Sign up today at HelloFresh.com what's the link? I don't have the link here. Where's the link, Joel? It's a VOW14, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
I know it. See, I told you I didn't need these notes. VOW14, sign up. Use that code, right? And you get up to 14 free meals. That's pretty amazing, right? So VOW14, use that code VOW14, and you can try this, and you can see if it's for you. And I promise you, it would be. It will be. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/VOW14. Use the code VOW14 for up to 14 free meals, including free shipping. Get on board now. What are you waiting for? Get on it right now. HelloFresh. And I'm going to tell you right now, change the way that you look at dinner. Change the way, right? This is a no-brainer. Save money. Fresh foods delivered to your door that you pick off of the menu items that they have prepared by chefs and nutritionists, and to save you money, time, and energy. HelloFresh. Thank you, HelloFresh. We appreciate you hopping on board the Super J-Cast. Again, VOW14 is the code, and save yourself some time, money, and energy with HelloFresh.
Outstanding stuff. Okay, let's move on to Wrestle Grand Slam in MetLife Dome. So we'll start with Saturday's show on September 4th in the Saitama MetLife Dome. Attendance 2,095. Let's call it what it was, Damon. It looked shit. Like the aesthetics of it with basically a Korakuen Hall crowd packed into a stadium. It looked terrible. The malaise hit me at that point, just the visuals of it. Even Kidani has acknowledged that, something's going wrong here, whether it's the matches going long or whatever. He talked about a few possible factors at play, but it did not look great, did it?
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. It did not look good, and not only from a visual standpoint, but from an acoustic standpoint. I mean, sounds just reverberating for and echoing for what seemed like infinity.
It had like the same acoustic quality of the empty stadium football matches. Last season's Premier League when you said two teams having a football match in like a completely empty Old Trafford or Emirates Stadium.
Right, it really did. Look, it's hard to get yourself pumped up for that. It's almost you pop it on and it is a reminder of what life is for many currently. And it's that the gray cloud and the wet blanket of life is still hovering around us. So yeah, it's hard to shake. Right, it's hard. You could go into a show and be somewhat pumped up for what's on paper, and then you get that shot, and it's just like, yep, it is what it is. I will say this as well: even with the restrictions, and even with the near empty arena, even the people that were there. Boy, there were times where it felt like they just didn't even feel like being there. Did that come across to you at all? Like the crowd that was even there. Did it?
Well, you see like people, you can see every single person that decides to get up and go wandering around or go for a piss or whatever, and it was quite distracting,
wasn't it? Yeah, and just their body language. Like you could tell when people are just like, okay, here we go, pro wrestling. I don't care if you're wearing a mask, a cardboard box. I don't give a shit. Like you could see it in their body language, and it just didn't feel like I could see it in their body language. That they were like, okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Wasn't the weather just awful too? Like it just felt like
it's pissing with rain, apparently.
Yeah. So it was just like a chore. And then I hate to say it, but you add to the fact that New Japan's got to sort out these fucking technical things, man. I know it's impossible to call a wrestling show in a fucking hotel room and then have another person in another room and nobody's there a lot. And it's just, I'm so sick of delays. And if there's anything that I never want to have again is delayed broadcasts. It's the worst.
Well, God bless Kevin Kelly for flying over to Japan for the G1. So we don't have to worry about that.
I know. And for him to sacrifice himself in a sense from his family, and I mean, he does it every year for G1, but I think this one's even a little bit more of a struggle, and even a little bit more of a. I'm sure there was some extra hugs. Let's put it this way: before he got on that fucking flight, and he got in the car and got to the airport. It's a little bit different than most normal, okay, I'll see you in a month kind of things. There's a little bit more going on in the world. So I just hope everybody stays safe. I just hope everybody stays safe. So, yeah, it's difficult. and unfortunately, it was like right out of the gate, boom, technical issues, and you're just like, oof. All right, let's see if we can power through this one.
So there are Stardom special matches to open up. I'm not going to go into too much detail because, again, I'm totally ignorant on the subject, and more informed podcasts than us can do this justice. But I really like the matches. I thought they're very good. I would check out Stardom if I had the time. Maybe I will. I was particularly impressed by Saya Kamitani. I thought she was great. Williams said, did the hyper energy and colors of the Stardom matches make all the following NJPW matches seem less exciting? That wasn't the case for me, but you could definitely tell that the Stardom wrestlers were rising to the occasion and making the most of it. And both matches I thought were very good. The Night 2 one I thought was slightly better, but both of them, they definitely grabbed the ball by the horns and made the most of this opportunity. And hopefully they've converted some new fans to the product.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that got ironed out too, because why not have them on? Not even to, I'm going to say, not even to open the show. I mean, we're looking for new, fresh things in a New Japan ring. I got no problem just popping them on a show, even a more important storyline match, a title defense, something like that. I would have zero issues with that at this point, Joel. They're owned by the same company. Again, I'm not saying we want a split card. I'm not saying, but would that be better than some of the stuff that we're seeing right now? I don't know. I mean, traditionalists are going to yell and scream, and I'm not saying we start a New Japan women's division, and I'm saying put fucking Stardom matches on there. We need fresh matches. We need something new. We need something vibrant. And I think you have that in your back pocket. Why not put more Stardom matches on these shows? I got no problem with it. Zero.
Bit of a deep cut here, but I think season 3 of Hanzo and Naoki is going to be all about Hanzo and Naoki managing to negotiate this deal between Bushiroad and TV Asahi and NTV to broadcast the dark matches before these shows. So there you go. Let's move on to the first match, a special tag match, Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles against Bushi and Hiromu. Yeah, this was fine. I've got nothing to say about it. It was good. I like Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles. I think they're a good team. I think Tiger Mask is underrated. They were low-key one of the better teams in the Super Junior Tag League, and I fully expect them to be having a junior tag title shot in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I wish I could, I wish I could add to that. It was the opening match of a show that, boy, you were waiting for those main event matches. That's for sure. I'll
tell you, I would. Sorry, one other thing actually occurred to me. I forgot to mention that it gave me encouragement that if Tiger Mask is going to be in Best of the Super Juniors, which I think he should be and he will be, I think one to watch out for, because he'll be the grumpy veteran, but I think he can still go.
Give me? I mean, I guess I'll phrase the question like this. Do you think that anyone not named Robbie Eagles or Hiromu Takahashi was the star performer of this match?
No, but again, I always think people like Tiger Mask and Bushi sort of rise to the occasion because they don't often get to wrestle on quote unquote big shows like this. But yeah, I mean, it's a set-up match for Robbie and Hiromu. Let's not waste any more time with it. I'm happy to move on if you are.
Fine, let's do it.
Second match, special singles match. Sho defeated Yo in 24 minutes 41 seconds with a referee stop. Okay, that's a big side there because I like this one. I thought it was really good.
Fine.
Joe's got his... Okay, you want to go first then?
No, you go.
Sho came out with his... It's sort of like a Tekken... It reminded me of Jin Kazama inspired aesthetic, looking very moody and grumpy. I like the new music. I thought it was pretty good. And the entrance video with just him doing very, very nasty things to Yo, that made me chuckle. And considering this is a relatively recent heel turn, a very recent heel turn, Sho's heel work I thought was surprisingly polished. lots of funny faces.
I hate the funny faces, Joel. I hate the funny fucking faces. I don't know what's going on with him and what he's trying to convey, but it just looks silly as fuck. It is the most overacting pro wrestling performance. I can't get past it. Is he like trying to be like insane or something? Is he trying to be like, I've lost my marbles, so I like, what's going on here? Help me understand, what the fuck am I looking at here?
Yeah, that's it. He's a sadist now, and there's a lot of arm work. I thought it was quite good. The arm work on the turnbuckle, like kicking Yo's arm in the barricade in time to the 20 count. Not dissimilar to Jay White, actually, in terms of the sort of methodical attacking in the early parts of the match. And I thought both guys actually did very well in making it feel like a grudge match.
Yes.
There were some nasty attacks, like the dragon suplex into the turnbuckle, very aggressive forearms. Nice reversals and counters from the shock arrow to the Stargazer. That was really cool. And I thought Sho's selling in the Stargazer was very good. I really saw that sort of frantic desperation to get out. And Yo really impressed me here, actually, because we don't often see the sort of fire and passion from him when he's in Roppongi 3K. But I thought he brought absolutely the right level of emotion and intensity to this fight. I was enjoying this a lot. Then we got a ref bump and a low blow and a chair shot. And then Sho joined Bullet Club, or to be specific, the House of Torture subsidiary. And I looked at Sho standing with Yujiro and Evil and Dick Togo and got very worried, Damon. Questions here. Louis says, I know the match may have been rushed between Yo and Sho. I really liked it, and it showcased what both wrestlers' talents are. Sho can be a convincing bad guy, Yo the underdog. Are you guys hopeful for these two wrestlers' single careers? I'm a bit worried about Sho and Bullet Club. And Papa Diamond says, what do you think is next for Yo? So did you have the same concerns? Well, first of all, I thought a very, very good match. Both guys impressed me. Yo particularly impressive. But then afterwards, I'm thinking, uh-oh. And I'm visualizing Sho basically being the junior version of Evil with a lot of bullshit and interference in his matches. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, Damon.
I don't think you are either. We'll work our way backwards. So it was heartbreaking to see Sho put on that fucking t-shirt, because the minute he put it on was the minute my interest level just went whoop, bye, out the fucking door for Sho. Because here's what this is. This is, again, he could join Bullet Club, and joining Bullet Club, that's, I mean, it seems passe at this point, but okay, we're going to do it. It's not that. It's the faction within Bullet Club, and a little bit of throw up in my mouth just occurred just saying that. A faction within a Bullet Club where we have the most gripes.
Because the track history for this, Damon, sorry, it's not very good, is it? If we're looking at, do you remember the firing squad back in 2018, leading up to the 2018 J1 with Farley and Tamatonga going into that?
Yes, I do. There is a lot of speculation out there, and I think we can touch on this. Can we touch on this, Joe? We can touch on this, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to steal the thunder from
no.
Voices of Wrestling, but their reports from their sources within the company suggest that, just to give a condensed version, Dick Togo is a voice in the room when booking is concerned, and he is pushing heavily for all this interference-based wrestling. And it was actually, well, we'll come on to it, I guess, for the main event for the Sunday show, but he wanted Evil to win the title again. And if these reports are to be believed, then that's the trajectory for Sho as well.
Yeah, and again, I have no doubt that these things were communicated to Rich and Joe. So, I guess my point is this: who the fuck is Dick Togo? And why the fuck does he even have a voice in this room? And why is this even something that we want to dip our toes into? I guess is really what my main concern is. Like, how did he get if we are to believe what we are what we're hearing, and this isn't something where it's just we're hearing it here. It's been floated around us constantly for a while. How did he get this influence? Where is he? And why would anyone give this idea that this is what people wanted or want any kind of weight or substance or this? You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? I guess is my biggest question. And it's happening. Let's make no mistake about it. So now we got Show, who's doing this gimmick that, again, seems a bit hokey to me, but okay. And he's in this faction of a faction within a faction. And we know when we start getting these fucking carbon copies and these fucking, splinter groups that, the ship has fucking sailed on the idea, or as the kids used to say, jump the shark. Now we're in for, and you know it. Just look at the t-shirt he's wearing. You know that we are setting up for interference and bullshit and chicanery and fuckery.
That's 10% of Best of the Super Juniors we can already throw in the bin.
Right. 10%. Guess what? You're in for a treat when it comes to fucking G1. And not for nothing. That one block, Joe, we're going to have, what was the number that was thrown? 6 or 7 Bullet Club matches? Bullet Club versus Bullet Club matches in G1.
Well, I suppose my prediction would be that this House of Torture sort of breaks away from Bullet Club. So I think we might see the genesis of that during the G1, where I think the bullshit will probably be self-contained to the evil matches and probably Udra as well. And then we have the Bullet Club people. So Tamatonga, Tangaloa, Chase Owens, Kenta still wrestling as heels, but not doing all of that interference shit. Right. So that would be my prediction. And then that breaks off into a finally Torture Bullet Club feud, because we all love Bullet Club Civil Wars. They turn out so well last year.
They are I mean, how many times have we jump started a Bullet Club Civil War just to have it fucking fizzle out? Yeah, that's what this is leading to, right? This is we have this splinter group. That's where the hopefully the bullshit will be housed, and Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. And then this leads to your Jay White babyface turn, right? I mean, is that what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking. We finally get that Jay versus Evil match. But this is like the thing. There's always interference bullshit in New Japan in one of the factions. This is an extremely geeky reference, but in Dark Souls 3, there's this boss called Deacons of the Deep, where there's this big group of like evil priests, and then an evil, like a glowing ball of light sort of flies from one priest to another priest, and you've sort of got to chase it around, attacking whichever priest has got the glowing ball of light on him. So that ball of light is the interference and cheating and bullshit, and it sort of jumps from faction to faction. Like when I started watching in 2017, it was Suzuki-gun, and then it jumped over to the Firing Squad guys, and now it's jumped over to the House of Torture guys. So it's always there, but it's kind of jumping from faction to faction. So
it's always there, Joel. It's always there, Joel, but it is never needed. And it's never something...
I'd be happy for it not to be there.
Right. It is so unnecessary. We're not idiots. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I hate to bring this up again, but the reason why we all love the New Japan is the idea of these athletes competing over titles. And I don't care what you do in a ring. If you're not compelling, it doesn't matter. Like, and you're not compelling by this idea of you need to be a dirty, filthy heel and then finally get your what's coming to you. Like, that is just such a...
Have you considered, Damon, that maybe you're not supposed to like these guys? You're supposed to boo them. They're the heels.
I understand that, but aren't there more complex ways and should I say less simplified ways of making that happen. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that that's what people want in their pro wrestling. To boo. You know what I mean? Like, there can always be...
Yeah, in an environment where no one's allowed to boo, which makes it even more baffling, where for your favourite wrestler who you love, you can react by lightly applauding them. But if there's someone you fucking hate and you want to see them destroyed, light applause.
Right. And here's the thing. No one hates pro wrestlers. Like, no, this is not Roddy Piper circa 1984. This is not... I don't understand the mentality that people like. You don't need to have this idea of. I mean, look. All right, let's do this. Let me ask you this. Name me a heel in all of pro wrestling that is generally a heel that people hate. Exactly.
Right. I thought there was more coming. It sounded like there was a further clause to come in that sentence.
No, that was it, and that is the response I anticipated. Like, the closest person I could possibly think of is like MJF, right? In AEW, and even then,
yeah, but he's gone over to the thing where people actually like him,
right?
now.
Because they appreciate what he does, and like again, it's. New Japan, can I have a serious question with you? I can't believe I have to explain this. Like, people don't actually hate your wrestlers, and they don't go there to say, "Boy, I hope Evil gets his due." No one does that. No one does that. And the thing that made you successful was the acknowledgement of that. They wanted to see guys fight for championships. And I put fight in there. Okay, I get it. It's pro wrestling. But you get my point. Right? This is what the crux of it was. And and let's have some of the greatest pro wrestling in-ring action, dramatic pro wrestling that you possibly could have on planet Earth. That's what brought you all these eyeballs that came to your product. It was compelling, but it was simple. It was complex, yet it was really, at its core, the simplest idea possible. And when you water it down with this idea that we're cheering and booing based off of like this. Again, no one is going and buying a ticket and saying, "Boy, I want Chase Owens to finally get his due." No one is doing that. We're not even suspending our disbelief. Just it's not happening. That's not why we go. Yet here we are with just the worst case scenario for show, just to wrap up the show part, the worst case scenario for show that I could possibly give you, Joel, of when we get these questions, what do you think is going to happen in the show? What do you think is going to happen here? Happened. The worst case scenario, because now I have to put up with months of bullshit for a guy who quite easily, I feel, has the talent and the skill and to be a solid piece of the puzzle without all that. And it's quite truthfully, it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit sad.
Yeah, I mean, we're flogging a dead horse at this point. I don't think there's anyone listening who's like, no, I disagree. I like the shit. So,
right.
Booze Leprechaun says, assuming House of Torture will be spun off as its own stable, is this in direct response to half of United Empire either unwilling or unable to get into Japan? And that is my question.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of what we see is because of that, right? I think a lot of that is and I'll go so far as to say we don't know what's going to happen 3 weeks from now. Because trust me, in the past 2 years, we've seen nothing but change your plans, change your plans, change your plans, just because of the fucking cards that have been dealt. So to answer the question, I think so. I would believe that to be true. And if you think that was fun, who knows what's around the corner when it comes to Japanese-based New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Now, to wash the taste of that out of your mouth, Damon, let's talk about the third match, which was the provisional KOPW no DQ I Quit match. Toru Yano defeating the champion Chase Owens in 28 minutes and 3 seconds. Toru Yano becomes a new KOPW 21 holder. All right, look, 28 minutes is insane. I don't care if you got time to fill. Throw in another undercard tag match. Like, give us some dads and young lions tag in on the undercard. I don't care. But yeah, that is. I didn't need half an hour of this. I like Yano going back to his most violent players aesthetic. That was fun. I popped for that. I like it when wrestlers can sort of selectively dip back into their lore, their history, to enhance a match where appropriate. And I will credit both guys for not putting on a dopey comedy match, which I predicted last week. I thought that would happen. So I was right. You were wrong. So there's that. I thought the build-up and the spot on the card called for a more serious match, which they delivered. It absolutely did not need half an hour. It reminded me of like WWF hardcore title matches from the Attitude Era, and not in a good way. But if you're into plunder and you like Yano and or Chase, I could see why you would like this. I know it actually went down well with some people. One of my friends, Sipsy, very casual fan, he liked it. Apparently, people on Reddit liked it as well. So take that for what it's worth. I thought both guys worked hard. If they condensed this into a 12-minute match rather than 28-minute one, then I'd have liked it even more. I did enjoy the finish with Yano looking absolutely unhinged, trying to gouge out Chase Owens' eye with scissors, just like Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard, Damon.
Right? That was mentioned. I did. Yes. Here's the problem, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I think everybody knows what I thought of this. But if you don't, I'll give you the brief rundown. One, again, I think Yano and Chase Owens worked very hard, and they busted their ass for 28 minutes. I mean, that's saying something, and I think that deserves a round of applause. Absolutely. Just for context, the problem that I had was, again, it's Yano and it's Chase Owens who are now in this blood feud over I don't even know what, but okay, 28 minutes. Right now, if we were to look at some of the greatest I Quit matches of all time, these were with guys who main events. These were guys who were probably the top stars of their era in a blood feud, and it was a cap off to a violent feud already, and we needed to put an end to this. And I need you guys to go out there and have a great violent stop to this feud so that we can move on to bigger and better things. And you referenced Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, right? Starrcade, one of those at the time. Again, amazing matches, and everybody needed to find it and watch it and learn from it and all that. Magnum Tully, again, blood feud for weeks and weeks and weeks. 14 minutes, 43 seconds. Again, another classic I Quit match. Feud of the summer in 1989. Flair versus Funk. Ric Flair versus Terry Funk. And this is the final match of this feud that was going on all summer. 18 minutes, 33 seconds. Hey, you want to go somewhere else, Joel? You want to go to WWE? Some classic, some Attitude Era? Huh? The Rock, maybe you've heard of Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, against Mankind. Famous for those chair shots we talked about the other week, right? 21 minutes. And then we have...
That 21 minutes, was that for the WWF title?
I believe so. I believe
right.
So. At Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the biggest shows in the year.
Yeah.
The biggest title in the company when it was arguably at its hottest. In the main event, 21 minutes.
21 minutes.
No, 21.
And then we have guys who, again, it's very difficult to do in pro wrestling. I think it's even harder to do in pro wrestling is to take guys that are established mid-carders and kind of in the pecking order, maybe a little bit lower than most of those stars. Again, Magnum Tully. Whew, boy, they carried Jim Crockett Promotions. They were red hot. Flair Funk, top program in the company at that time. Rock Mankind.
Gym sessions and sweaty summer activities are back, which means more funky smells in your clothes because sweat leaves behind bacteria that causes those hard-to-remove odors. Clorox fabric sanitizer products are ready to zap the stink out of fabrics in your home by getting rid of 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Eliminate odors in every load or sanitize fabrics between washes with one of our fabric sanitizer products. Search fabric sanitizer at Clorox.com to learn more. When it counts, trust Clorox. Use as directed.
Own the road with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Whether you're cruising through Nashville on I-40, heading down I-90 to Boston, or touring Santa Cruz in the 5, you'll be covered by the largest 5G network. T-Mobile covers the most interstate highway miles in America with 5G.
See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com. Most reliable according to independent third-party Umlaut from crowdsourced user experience data from January to July 2021. Fastest according to Open Signal Awards based on average speeds in USA. 5G user experience report July 2021.
Yano, Chase Owens, 28 minutes in front of 2,000 people. Wow.
Wow. I think it's like the match length inherently is not a good or a bad thing, but just a bit of common fucking sense.
Right.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. Overarching theme in all this, Joel, is the wrestlers themselves are busting their ass to make the shit sandwich that they're getting delivered be tasty.
I'm sure it's not Chase and Yano saying, we want 28 minutes to tell our story. This is the bookers going out to them and saying, right, you got half an hour to fill. And I bet they're looking at each other like, what the fuck?
Right, exactly. Thank you. This is exactly the point we're making. This is not the wrestlers. Because truth be told, I thought Yano and Chase Owens did everything they could to fill 28 motherfucking minutes. But, whoever was the brain surgeon who said, you got 28 minutes for this is out of their fucking minds. And
probably that bloody Dick Togo, Damon.
I mean, look, he's the one that is the new guy, and he's the, you know what I mean? Things sort of change. I'm just saying. If it is, then I'm going to question why he has this influence in making these decisions, and what does somebody owe him money? You know what I mean?
We should use our influence, Damon, our considerable influence to launch a campaign to improve New Japan, to remove this pernicious element from the booking committee. # get your dick out.
Get your dick out. I love it. I mean, look, we don't know if this is the case. We're just putting two and two together, and his name has popped up in many conversations that we've had with many people with various levels of degrees of association and with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And add to that Rich and Joe's report, which I would encourage you guys to listen to. Please do and form your own opinions.
Read. It was a written report.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean that's where you put the pieces of the puzzle together. All I know is that for 28 minutes we got the pleasures of Yano and Chase Owens, which again in any other timeline would seem absolutely preposterous. And I'll go so far as to say this. If we were not in where we are right now, Joel, would we see a 28-minute I Quit match between Yano and Chase Owens?
No, absolutely not. This is just because they've got this fixation that there's got to be 5 or 6 main card matches, and but the show still has to be a certain length of time. And then it's all sort of trickles through where a lot of matches, and this has been a systematic problem throughout New Japan since the pandemic, that a lot of matches are going longer than they should and are suffering as a result. But thankfully, we've got G1 around the corner where that won't be a problem anymore. And question leading into that, actually, Multiverse A says, in an interview on Tama's Island, Hikuleo mentioned that Yano was very intimidating during his training in the dojo. After seeing his vicious side on Saturday, do they continue down this path where Yano can be seen as intimidating, or do we go back to the jovial prankster? I think it would be quite cool, actually, if this sort of MVP style Yano sticks around for the G1. Do you think that's likely, or do you think he's going back to Ha Yano?
My initial reaction is this is kind of like Battle Liger, where he'll put on and I put this in the quotes, the serious, non horned mask to show that, okay, we're ready to kick some fucking ass. And I think that's what we saw here. I wouldn't have a problem either way. I mean, Yano, I'm fucking talking about Yano for a half an hour. He could do anything he wants to do. I don't care. Just keep it under 28 fucking minutes. That's all I ask.
Fair enough.
I don't care if he comes out nude. I don't care. Just keep it under 28 minutes.
More good news after this match, where they announced we're going to get 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom this year. So January 4th and 5th at the Tokyo Dome and January 8th at Yokohama Arena. Daryl says 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. Who the fuck asked for that? David says 3-night Wrestle Kingdom. How do you think they deal with a heavyweight title across them? Champ versus G1 winner, then against Ospreay seems likely, but will they have a 3rd night title match too? We're going to see KOBW across 3 nights too, aren't we? Not that I want to see it. Rory says, I'm a rare case of being positive about the road to Wrestle Kingdom and 2022 in New Japan. 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. How much international talent do you see there, especially AEW talent and their recent acquisitions? And Welky says, is the 3rd night added to Wrestle Kingdom because of the renovations and possibly that they will miss the 4th, for example? And that's my question. Well, no, they're going to be having their show on the 4th. I don't know about the foreign talent thing, because as far as I know, like, the visa situation is what it is. If you do not have a visa, you're not getting in. That may have changed by then. I was wondering initially if this might be sort of a nod towards the foreigners who didn't want to miss Christmas, but it doesn't quite line up. In order to do the 2-week quarantine to make it out by the 8th, they'd still end up having to leave on Christmas or before Christmas. So I don't know what the status is for New Year. Dash, I don't know, but I don't need 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, Damon. I don't think anyone does.
Yeah. I mean, if it does feel like that they are putting their chips on having people return by that point, right? They 3 nights, like, it makes me somewhat sad, because if things remain exactly the same, Joel, 3 nights really dilutes and waters down the meaning of these shows. And it really, look, January 4th is an exciting time for everyone involved in this promotion and everyone that follows this promotion. 3 nights seems absolutely ludicrous unless things change. And I feel like that they're putting their chips all in, pardon the pun, to make this happen. I don't know. I don't know what the quarantine rules are going to be come January, Joel. I don't know what the state of COVID is going to be in Japan during that time. I don't think that they do, but they're going for it, and they stuck their neck out for 3 nights. And here's the thing: it's January 4th, right? January 5th, and then January 8th. Is it? I don't know what they're thinking, man. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. But I'm just hoping the cavalry is coming, because can you imagine 3 nights? What with exactly what they have right now, like without bringing people in? Can you imagine what the fuck they're going to do?
No, and you can't make me.
I just like I know I had a conversation with you offline, and it was more toward G1, and I had mentioned, and again, maybe we should. I'll just put it out there. I was like, do they have to run G1 this year? Like, it just feels like it's just not the same, right? And man, if the idea was to run 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, I think everyone, I don't think that there is anyone on planet Earth that is a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan would be like saddened or disappointed, or they would be like, yeah, it makes fucking perfect sense for 1 night of Wrestle Kingdom. And I know it's the 50th anniversary, and I know they want it to be special, but guess what? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those idiots who have those baby reveal parties and then light the whole fucking state on fire, setting off their fireworks. You know what I mean? like we're in the middle of a drought where there's like we can't have any kind of sparks or any type of flame. If we do, nope, I'm going to go out and shoot off my fireworks to reveal the gender of my child. Yay, everyone! Oh, the whole town's on fire now. Like, this is what this is. Like, we're going to. They just have their fucking thumbs in their ears. La 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 la. We're now doing 3. What the fuck? They have to truly believe that the cavalry is coming. And they have to, right? Because there's no fucking way possible that anyone is going to be excited for 3 nights with the cards they are currently holding.
Yeah, they are sifting through the putrefying guts of the golden goose. It's just lying in a mouldering pile of offal at the moment. Okay, the 4th match is a special singles match. Jeff Cobb defeated Kazuchika Okada 27 minutes 41 with the Tour of the Islands. I did know Okada's looking in tremendous shape. He looked much more, he was ripped. He looked a lot more mobile and dynamic than usual. He was bumping like a madman and helped Cobb to be at his absolute Gary Albright best here. Cobb was catching him one-handed, catching the diving crossbody, suplexing him onto the floor. And it was interesting seeing sort of in the story of the match, Okada adapting to that, working in some nice DDT counters. And then the close on the match, working around the story whether Cobb could hit Tour of the Islands. And then he gets, the big avalanche run off the top rope and another one to seal the deal. Some really impressive strength and agility from both men. Huge win for Jeff Cobb here. Well-deserved, very good match. And I'm wondering, is this going to be a launching pad for Jeff Cobb to possibly win his G1 block? We'll come on to that later, but all in all, very good match here.
Jeff Cobb has been the highlight of pandemic-based New Japan in Japan. Like, he's like
due a reward, isn't he?
I'm telling you, man. Like, he feels like he has, for a guy who's been in the business, quite a few years now. It feels like he is like leaps and bounds over what he once was. And once again, it's hard to have those middle of the road guys and turn them into stars. And it helps if the person himself can make that work and has the ability to make that work. I feel like Jeff Cobb has absolutely done it. I think that New Japan has hit a home run with Jeff Cobb. Absolutely. And he looked great here. I thought this match was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I thought the finish was perfect. And yeah, I think we are in for a big run with Cobb in G1. Yes.
Our main event was the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship match. Hiroshi Tanahashi in a successful first defense against the challenger Kota Ibushi. 17 minutes 47 seconds via high fly. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, what do you got?
What's this? Corn soup. Oh, Mally's just brought me some corn soup. Delicious. Homemade. So 17 minutes, 47 seconds. This surprised a lot of people, but I thought it was a good length. And it's also worth keeping in mind that the previous singles match between these guys in the 2019 G1 was only 15 minutes. So there is precedence for them having shorter matches. It was very emotional seeing Ibushi sort of tearing up in the ring to start with. So I don't know, maybe that aspirational pneumonia thing was a lot more serious than we thought. I mean, it sounded pretty bad as it was, but you could see it meant a lot to him to be in the ring again in a big match like this.
Dakota Ibushi just walking in the room. Is he there right now?
Yeah.
Wow. Very emotional.
I'd say something funny happened yesterday, Damon. After work, I met Mally and Esther in a department store because they were getting new shoes for Esther. And she always looks excited. She's very excited when I come home and like, Daddy, and runs up to me. So we're in this department store. I sort of crept up to her and she turned around and saw me. Daddy! Ran towards me. And then when she was about 1 foot away from me, she did a sharp 90-degree turn and just ran off in the direction adjacent to me and went to like grab some toys off the shelf, which I laughed at a lot. It was like Leo Rush wrestling. But yeah, anyway, back to this match. This was it kind of reversed the story that they were telling previously, where it had been, Ibushi finally eclipsing Tanahashi and pulling away from him, but now opposite story, obviously, which made sense given the injury, the illness for Ibushi. It was short, it was intense, it was emotional. Ibushi managed to take neck bumps on the sling blades. Yeah. The counters were great. I could really buy this story, Ibushi, knowing that his cardio shot because of his illness. So he's rushing, trying to use his big finishers before he's softened up Tanahashi enough. So Tana, as the more experienced, the more prepared wrestler, he's in better condition. He was able to punish Ibushi for his recklessness. So I enjoyed this one a lot.
I did too. And I thought it was a perfectly paced, booked time, everything. Once again, you got two guys that are just world-class pro wrestlers doing what they do best. In I don't want to say a limited fashion, but they were able to trim the fat, condense it, and make it even that much more enjoyable. Now, again, I've heard, the reason why the undercard did go so well was because they didn't want those guys to go, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just, they were just concerned for that aspect. I don't know if that's true or not. I will say this, though, from a, pro wrestling fan's perspective, it makes perfect sense. And I think New Japan was spot on in the sense that, okay, here's a guy that everyone knew had a lot of struggles when it came to pneumonia and the illness that he had. For him to come back and just be fresh-faced and going 30 minutes, again, just from a pro wrestling fan perspective, wouldn't make that much sense. So they did add a little bit of realism to the real life situation that he was probably going through. And you could see that, he wore it. He wore those emotions in the ring. So I thought this was really good. I really thought this was smart, and I thought it was delivered well. And it was almost like a cleansing of the palate of, okay, that's where we should be. These are the marks we should be hitting. When it comes to the times. And again, I don't want people to think that just because a match goes long means that it's another long match. A match can go as long as it fucking needs to go. It's just when it becomes a cliche, I guess, that you have to go a certain length. And then when you have situations where it's just preposterous to go the length of time that it does. I thought this was perfect. I like to throw out flakes just to give people an idea of what I thought of a match and what I like how my enjoyment of it. And I was in the fours. I was in the low fours with this, which I think is perfectly fine and perfectly acceptable, given exactly what we were up against.
Right, moving on to day two then, which had an attendance of 2,780. The first match was Great Khan and Jeff Cobb, or Khan on the Cobb as we like to call them, defeating Ishii and Okada 12 minutes for 45 seconds. Great Khan getting the pinfall. Excuse me, I'm burping up my but beating Ishii, pinning Ishii after the Eliminator. I really love this Khan on the Cobb team. They are... I don't know if individually the guys are too good to be involved in a tag title match at Wrestle Kingdom, but they are too good not to be in the mix with World Tag League. Like, I would just love to see these guys just destroy everyone in that tournament. Really great closing sequence here with Okan and Ishii. And I think that's a big pinfall for Okan. And I'm looking for him to make waves in this G1 climax. I would not be shocked if he is still in the mix when we're getting down to the final few nights.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. He needed a win. He was one of those guys that we kept saying kind of needed a win. And for him to pick up the pinfall was I thought was pretty huge. Yeah, I like the tag team too, man. And again, if our speculation is spot on, it might be a little bit before we see a lot from that tag team. Maybe on the undercards, right? Maybe how they set up the G1s for the next night. I don't know if they're going to do that a lot though. They didn't do that a lot last year, did they? It's a different scenario, mind you, but we just went right into tournament matches. It felt like G1 was an easier watch last year, right? Am I out of my mind when I say that?
It was 6-match cards, wasn't it? So They had a Young Lion opener. They rotated between Tsuji, Uemura, and Kid, and then straight into our block matches. So this time there will be one undercard, one non-G1 match, I think. So I'm just looking at a few of them here, involving some Young Lions, some juniors. Okay. So yeah, we're still looking at six match cards here.
Okay, that makes it a little bit more. I liked it last year when they did that, so I'm on board with that. Okay, all right. So that's that second match. I know we're kind of pressed for time, so we might blow through a little.
The second match was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match with Suzuki-gun, Kanemaru Desperado defeating the champions ELP and Ishimori. Despi pinned Phantasmo after 28 minutes 28 seconds with a pinche loco. And yeah, I like this. This is good. I always enjoy the junior tag title matches. I like both of these teams. Surprised by the result. I really thought ELP and Ishimori would take the junior titles over to the USA. They could have had a lot of interesting defenses there, but I guess New Japan wanted them as a quote-unquote attraction in Japan. They've lined up a future challenge for the Flying Tigers, so fair enough. This one sort of verged on sort of cartoonish towards the ends with all the shenanigans with a loaded boot and the whiskey bottle. I thought it was quite fun. I liked it, but I can see how if you're into your serious wrestling, this might have crossed the line for some people.
Yeah. Next match.
Okay. Third match was the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship 3-way match with Dangerous Tekkers, Zack and Taichi beating Sanada and Naito, and Yoshihashi and Goto. Taichi got the pin over Yoshihashi after 26 minutes 43 seconds following the Black Mephisto. I like this one a lot. This is my kind of match, maybe my favourite match of the weekend, because I'm a big fan of the Tornado Tag Style mayhem of the 6-man matches. I think New Japan do them really well. This built on the previous matches with all of these teams really nicely. Closing sequence I thought was particularly great. Really showcased the superior synergy of Dangerous Tekkers. And Taichi's Hakuho elbow might be my favourite move in wrestling. But we absolutely clobbered Goto with that. It was outstanding. So the way this played on previous finishes between these teams with the blind tags and Zack and Taichi rescuing each other from various finishes and then finishing off Yoshihashi with a Black Mephisto, I found really satisfying. I thought it was a very good match.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Again, I'm trying to see, look for tea leaves in a lot of these finishes. And again, because we are rolling into G1 season, Taichi getting in the win, I think, is another little feather in this cap. Again, I don't know how deep they're going to go. Either one, Zack or Taichi, but it just helps solidify stuff. I was even actually, while watching the match, I was like, Yoshihashi's getting the fucking win here, just to kind of, because he's gonna need as much energy as he can get going into G1. I think they made the right move with who got the pin. And again, I don't know if it's going to be something that is going to impact G1 in any way, shape, or form. But I did like the fact that it was him, and it wasn't. I think let's put it this way: there's nobody in that fucking match that wouldn't have benefited from getting the pinfall. Even if Goto got the fucking pinfall, you'd be like, all right, that makes sense. He's got to, we got to warm up Hiroki Goto, who, again, always can use a little bit of a boost when it comes to G1 season. Just to remind people of, oh yeah, okay, this guy can go. So yeah, I liked it. I liked the match. I thought it was well constructed. They can be somewhat of a clusterfuck, but I thought they paced it well and they managed it well. So yeah, I thought it was really good. Yep.
Fourth match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. The champion, Robbie Eagles, with a successful first defense against the challenger, Hiromu Takahashi. I think, as I said last week, I think the right man won here. I think it makes total sense for a rusty Hiromu to be soundly beaten by the reigning champ, who's at the top of his game right now in top form. I thought this match was great. We had lots of really thrilling moments, like the cannonball through the ropes onto the guardrail, and like the speed and fluidity of the exchanges was top tier. I thought Hiromu's selling was really good too, particularly the closing moments where he really drew out the agony and suspense of whether he would get out of the Ron Miller special. So this is a huge feather in Robbie's cap. Well-deserved, in my opinion. I think the junior title is on the best man in the division. El Desperado came out to challenge, notably with his handle iced up, selling the punch with the loaded boot from earlier. And the Flying Tiger is going to challenge for the junior titles, the tag titles, as I mentioned. William says, why was Robbie Eagles wearing new gear in United Empire colours if he wasn't joining? I think that was just Australia colours. I don't think that was United Empire colours. But what did you think of the match?
Loved it. Thought it was fantastic. I was a little shocked by the finish. I don't think that there were a ton of people that were thinking, I mean, maybe I was just out of the loop, but I didn't think Robbie Eagles was walking out with the title. I just don't. I guess maybe I thought it was the easiest way to go would be to put the title back on Hiromu and away we go into the autumn months. That being said, it's probably best for him not to have the title. I mean, if we're being honest here, let's set up some different challenges. We got Despy. What's the word on Best of the Super Juniors? I mean, is that still a go this year?
Yeah, they've announced that they're doing it combined with World Tag League again.
Okay.
But there was an interesting caveat to that, which was that last year they did it in alternating shows. So you'd have a Best of Super Juniors show, then a World Tag League show. But it says, based on a Google translation, Chris Sampson sent my way, this year we plan to hold each tournament irregularly instead of alternately, and the same league game may be held in a series of battles. So it sounds like they're going to be mixed shows, maybe even different size blocks for either tournament. So
okay.
It is still happening, yes.
Okay. All right. And then, would you say that at that point, Hiromu is the odds-on winner of this?
Probably. I wonder if we might see a title change prior to this. I mean, we've got Power Struggle beforehand, because there's no reason why Robbie Eagles shouldn't be defending it at Wrestle Kingdom. More than capable of doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking of Despy Hiromu as the match. So possibly Despy wins the title from Robbie at Power Struggle. Hiromu wins Best of the Super Juniors, and then we can do Despy Hiromu for the title at Wrestle Kingdom.
I got 3 fucking nights at Wrestle Kingdom. Why not? All right. Yeah.
Okay.
But I did like the match. Sorry, I might fucking dropped out. I did like the match. It was good. Liked it. Again, I was kind of in the 4s with it, just to give my level of like. I was surprised by the finish, but in hindsight, it's probably the best moving forward. Okay.
Main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Shingo Takagi, with a second defense, successfully defending against Evil. Beat him in 30 minutes, 20 seconds, following a Last of the Dragon. Damon, they used a kick out as a ref bump, and that is my review.
I like the match. Leading up to... look... I think the biggest worry that I have, and if, again, from what the speculation has been, the fact that there was even a discussion or a thought or a glimmer that this title was going to change hands to Evil is just unbelievably preposterous to me. And the fact that, again, we don't have anything confirmed. And I think this is something that might be a little bit difficult to confirm. I don't know. But if Dick Togo has this much stroke that it was even a thought of quite possibly the worst decision of New Japan in the past 3 years? Can you think of a worse decision? I mean, aside from like some of the hirings that they might have gone through and done. Can you think of a worse fucking decision in the past 3 years? And the fact that there was even and again, I'm talking about speculation here, but the fact that there was even a thought that they would do this, does that rattle you a little bit?
Yeah, it's not even something that should be mentioned at the table, let alone seriously discussed.
I'm blown away by that. There is not a single person besides the people that are pitching it that would want this. And again, I hate the fact that I'm sitting here talking about things that are, certainly not concrete. And I would love to get more information on that. But God Almighty, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. What do you think Shingo feels about that? Do you think?
Well, according to the report, he's pissed. He
Yeah?
doesn't like it at all. Yeah.
All right. Look.
Hashtag get your dick out.
Get your dick out. Hashtag get your dick out. The match was okay. The match was fine. It certainly wasn't on in my top 5 Shingo matches of all time. That's for sure. But I thought it was fine. We're going to see a lot more evil, though. We're going to see a lot more of evil. That's for sure.
All right, let's move on to talking about the G1 climax. So, A block, we got Ibushi, Naito, Shingo, Zack Sabre Jr., Yano, Ishii, Yujiro Kenta, Tangaloa, and Great Okan. B block, Sanada, Taichi, Yoshihashi, Goto, Jeff Cobb, Evil, Tamatonga, Chase Owens, Okada, Tanahashi. I don't think the B block is terrible, as some people are saying. I think there's a lot of good workers in there. Taichi, Yoshihashi's much improved. Goto, you can always rely on. Jeff Cobb has been outstanding this year. Okada, I think we're going to get good Okada this year, and Tanahashi's always great. So I don't think that block is a write-off by any means. But A block is definitely the stronger one. A lot of sexy matchups there. God, there's so much to get into here. I don't really know where to start. All right, well, let's start with just sort of just initial thoughts on that lineup. I mean, it was exactly as we predicted.
Yeah.
Jamie says, for me, the G1 lineup looks like New Japan have just gone, this will do, rather than trying to put together a proper lineup. Is the lineup good enough in your opinion?
No.
Kid Quattro says, I see a lot of people complaining about the G1 blocks. What are your thoughts on them? Who should have been included that wasn't? What could have been done to make it more exciting? And Cactus Max says, please have Joel rant for 10 minutes about people wanting the G1 to run a US block or packing it with outsiders. It will be entertaining. So I have a feeling we might be disagreeing on this, Damon. This is not a sexy lineup at all. It's disappointing, but it's what I expected. So maybe that's maybe I'm contradicting myself. I don't love it. This is not the best G1 lineup I've ever seen. But for all New Japan's faults, and they made plenty of unforced errors, which we've taken them to task over, I don't think you can blame them for this one. Because the two things I hear people saying that they would have wanted to make it better is, one, put juniors in it. Like, first of all, we've got Best of the Super Juniors around the corner, and I don't think it is sensible to jeopardise the health of your juniors by sticking them into this tournament and risk them getting COVID or getting injured, especially someone like Hiromu, who has had plenty of injury troubles over the year. And for what? You're going to put the juniors in so they get, 4 points, 6 points, just to have slightly more interesting undercards. Personally, I don't think that's a feasible decision. The second one, people saying, they should have brought in some independent talents from other Japanese promotions. They could have got, Sekimoto or Okabayashi, Yuji Hino, blah, blah, blah. You've seen how fucking long it's taken them to broadcast Stardom Dark matches, which is a Bushiroad property, just because of the politics between TV Asahi and NTV. I just think that thing's a complete non-starter. And even if it were, is it, those kind of names I've mentioned, they might be exciting for sort of hardcore pro wrestling fans like us, but are they going to move the needle for a casual audience? Not sure if they would. That the debate is up in the air for that one. So really, I think given the circumstances, this is the best New Japan could have done. I really can't think of anything they could have done differently.
It's the problem is that you have a large portion of what would make G1 so much better sitting over in the United States under the same company name that aren't in the tournament, right? So right out of the gate, Suzuki, Osprey, Jay White, these are names that would easily be in G1 that are in the United States, not in your tournament, right? For whatever reason, they decided, nope, I'm staying here.
Do you think there's a possibility that might have been the company wanting them there to generate buzz and sell tickets for their US shows?
Over G1?
You think that's not the case then?
I mean, this is a flagship event for you guys. You're going to have a slew of guys. Again, this is not show and whomever. These are big names that are not in your tournament that easily would be in. And they're sitting here basically saying, yeah, we're not going. Right? Again, with the idea of there are Americans and there are foreigners that are in this tournament. And whether they live in Japan or not, okay, Chase is in this tournament. Kenta is in this tournament. Tama Tonga is in this tournament. It's just that the optics of that is not good. I don't care how you spin it. It's not good. You have people that are in this tournament that are looked at as not worthy of being in it. I hate to break the bad news. Joel, that B block, what you have is Hiroshi Tanahashi, you have Jeff Cobb, you have Okada, and then give me the sexiness.
Taichi.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Sanada is sexy.
But you see my point? I mean, is anybody going to wake up early for Sanada Yoshihashi? Is anybody going to wake up early for Goto versus Tama Tonga? And every year you have these matches that, okay, may not be as sexy, and we just need to get from point A to point B. But again, looking at that, it's just like, whew. And to me, there's a reason why those guys who are not in G1 are not in it. And there's been a lot of speculation about the safetiness, the protocols, whatever the case may be, of New Japan making it as safe as possible for their performers. And I will go on the record and say that I've had more than one person say that. So I'm putting it out there that I think it goes a little bit beyond the fact that they wanted these guys to be on US-based shows and not G1. And maybe it was the wrestler saying, you know what, until you fix some things, we're going to stay over here.
Right. So in that case, what you're saying is what New Japan could have done differently to give us a sexy G1 lineup was not making mistakes several months ago.
Possibly, yes.
So this is chickens coming home to roost, where the company did make some unforced errors earlier in the year, and as a result, we are looking at a worse G1 Climax lineup.
Yep,
I think that's fair,
right? And I don't think I'm stepping out of line with that, right? From information that's been passed along to us, I wouldn't be surprised if guys made a conscious decision to be like, nope, I'm good.
Well, Eric says, are Okada and Yujiro in separate blocks to keep them apart until Wrestle Kingdom? CM Wraith says, who besides Okada has any chance of winning B block? So I'm just looking through here. There is some interesting stuff. I mean, some stuff I'm looking forward to. I want to see what Tangaloa is made of. I think he will be working very hard to make good impressions here. And Great O'Khan as well. I'm looking forward to seeing him in this tournament and seeing lots of singles matches with him. In terms of prognosticating winners, I mean, let's look at opening couple of nights in Osaka. So for what it's worth, the first match, like the non-G1 matches, are going to be Young Lions against Juniors. So for example, on the first night in Osaka, September 18th, we've got Ryohei Oiwa against Sho. That's our opening match. And then into the block matches. So first night, we got Ibushi versus Yujiro, Great O'Khan versus Tangaloa, Yano versus Kenta, Naito versus Zack, and Ishii versus Shingo. So we got two very sexy matches topping off that opening night.
Yep.
And then the opening night for the B block, also in Osaka, we've got a Kosei Fujita against Sho as our opening match. Then we've got Yoshihashi against Evil. That was really good last year, Yoshihashi versus Evil. I'm surprised it's that low on the card. Jeff Cobb against Chase Owens, Sanada against Tamatonga, Goto against Taichi, and they've got history. They've had some good matches together. And then our main event for that first B block show is Tanahashi versus Okada. So that's always a fun one to look forward to. So those are our opening two nights. Skipping ahead, some other interesting stuff here. We've got Naito versus Shingo in Kobe World Hall. So fuck you, Dragon Gate. And then I'm looking at the final nights for the A block and B block. Okay, so A block. Obviously, we don't have a match order for this, but I'll read you the matches and maybe we can sort of prognosticate or what we think the standings might be and permutations going into the finals. So final night for the A block, we've got Ibushi versus Kenta. That looks like it's going to be decisive. We've got Ishii versus Yano. Probably not. Shingo versus Yujiro. Possibly. I mean, Yujiro spoiling Shingo is not out of the question if we want to have more Shingo fucking around with the House of Torture. Naito versus Great O'Khan. That looks like it's going to be significant. Possibly maybe a situation where Naito's got a win to go through because they're 1-1, Naito and O'Khan. So, it's the rubber match between them. And then Zack against Tangaloa, which I
Doesn't
don't
seem
think
like it. Yeah.
No. So I think we're looking at here Ibushi versus Kenta and Naito versus O'Khan being the decisive ones. Early thoughts, Naito to win this tournament. I think I could see maybe Kenta spoiling Ibushi and then Naito beating O'Khan to go through to the final. Any thoughts on that A block? How you see that playing out?
Yeah, I see Naito winning that just by what that final night is giving us. Again, the Zack match is not going to play a factor. I think it's Naito. Getting out of block A. Yep.
Or possibly my prediction from last year, which was a Kenta Okada final. That's going to be my second choice here. So I could see maybe Kenta going through. But
what's Ibushi doing that last night?
Ibushi against Kenta.
Wow. And then Kenta. You think Kenta Naito finals block A?
Okay, so my first choice would be Naito winning the A block and facing someone else in the final. My second choice would be Kenta winning the A block and facing
right. But what I'm saying is that I got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like Dave Meltzer here.
this is
Naito has 12 points, and if he beats this guy, then let me rattle some papers.
If there's a time limit draw here, then that means the winner of the first match will go through on away goals. Okay, so the finals of the B block, we have got Tanahashi versus Taichi. That could be significant. Yeah. You rule off Tanahashi at your peril in this tournament. We have Okada versus Jeff Cobb. That one looks decisive. That's got Block Decider written all over it to me. Rematch from what we've just seen. Goto against Tamatonga, Yoshihashi against Chase, Sanada versus Evil. Okay, so how about we have, let's say, Taichi spoiling Tanahashi, we have Sanada spoiling Evil, and then we have Okada versus Jeff Cobb for all the marbles. And, well, my scenario A, Jeff Cobb wins, Jeff Cobb versus Naito final, Naito wins. Or scenario B, Okada wins, Okada versus Kenta final, Okada beats Kenta in the final.
I like the Jeff Cobb. we've been saying it for months, right? Like we've been saying it even before the participants were announced. Jeff Cobb is going to have a better than decent, a strong G1, and it's kind of just why get off that horse now? So yeah, I think finals we'll see Cobb Naito, right? I really do.
Yeah, I would really look forward to that. Cola Blue says, how excited are you for the annual pre-G1 press conference fashion parade this year? That is my question. I'm really interested to see, one, what does a smartly dressed Chase Owens look like? And two, I want to see what Akan rocks up in, because I think that will be really good too.
It is, and it's fall, and it's the autumn months, Joel. So you're not going to get summertime Sonata in his no sock summertime apparel. You're going.
It looks like he's just got off his yacht.
Right. It's going to be a different look. I predict a couple scarves. I think we'll see some scarves. That'd be nice. Nice. All right.
Zephyrus Elf says, which G1 winner would have the worst long-term effects on booking?
Evil.
Again, all the talk we've had, Evil would be horrible. Again, I cannot rule it out, but I think it would be it would make me throw up in my mouth a little bit if Evil won the G1 Climax. So
I'll tell you what, if Evil wins G1 Climax, we're done. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes. Okay. Deal.
Are we putting it out there? We're putting it out there. If Evil wins, the Super J-Cast ends. And I know there's people rooting for Evil right now, but if Evil wins, I'm fucking done.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of good questions here. I'm going to save some of them for next week. I want to talk about Josh Alexander versus Daniel Garcia.
That was good.
I fucking love that match. I thought it was absolutely tremendous. I get big Steiner energy from Josh Alexander. He is one guy that I'm penciling in for when that travel opens up. He is a surefire hit in Japan. So I really hope. I mean, it looks like the relationship's going to continue with both of these guys in New Japan, and I hope so, because I can see tremendous upside for both. But Alexander just looked like a fucking monster here. And part of that, a lot of that actually was down to Daniel Garcia, who was a tremendous babyface and was just bumping, like ragdolling like hell for Alexander. Garcia, he reminded me of my off-base here, young Okada, just with his athleticism and his sort of babyface charm. So I really love that match on Strong.
Yeah, you pointed that match out to me. You said you got to watch this. This one's you got to watch. And again, it wasn't it's not a fucking Wrestle Kingdom main event here, but for 12 minutes, 11 minutes, for what it was like technically sound in an empty arena or in an empty fucking warehouse that made sense. It was like that finish. That was a kind of like a modified pile driver, right? I don't know what he calls it. Everything looked good. Everything looked crisp. And how else?
He calls it divine intervention.
Divine intervention. Couldn't keep one from. Who's that? Who am I singing right now? It's Duran Duran.
Should have guessed.
Yeah, right. I mean, listen, that would be the odds on, right? Yeah.
How old is Daniel Garcia? He's 22.
22. You think that guy's got a future?
Huge future, like tremendous upside. Again, he's a guy, he is billed at 187 pounds, so he is someone you should be penciling in right now for Best of the Super Juniors if you can, for next year. So.
I would. The problem is that they're not going to be able to, you're not locking anybody. Here's what I hope Strong winds up being, though. I hope it does wind up being a place where all these different promotions send younger talent with again, kind of what it is now, with a smattering of bigger names hopping in and out every once in a while. That's what I really hope it is. They just have so much that they can pick from, and he's one of them. Yeah. Put him best. They're not going to put him in there, though. They're not going to.
Well, who knows?
They don't have the guts. They don't have the fucking guts to do that. New Japan does not have the guts to put him in that. New Japan doesn't have the guts to put Leo Rush in it.
They would if they could, Damon. I mean, it's just they can't get visas for these guys. So I think next year's Best of the Super Juniors will be Very, very different.
Why don't we run G1 in the United States, man?
Shut up! If I hear that again, I'm going to put my foot through my fucking laptop and send the bill to these
What, man?
fucking smooth brains on Twitter.
Smooth brain.
It's just that armchair fantasy booking. These people just sitting on their asses, fantasy booking, and getting it's fine. Fantasy booking is fine. It's like, oh, it would be a cool idea if they could do this, if they could get this guy, if they could put this. Yes, it would be cool. But then getting angry when it doesn't happen, shitting your nappy like a big fucking baby. There's a fucking pandemic on. What's wrong with people? Can we stop the show now?
I think so.
Right, I've got lots of great questions. We'll come to them next week, because next week there won't be much else to talk about, I hope. redcircle.com/shows/super-j-cast if you want to throw some money our way. We like money. That helps us keep the podcast going. Discord link in the show notes, at Cobra Kawaii, and prowrestlingtees.com/super-j-cast for our t-shirts. Big thanks, Editor Dan. Find him on Twitter at LousyHero219. Subscribe to the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. Give us a 5-snake review on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at the Super J-Cast. Thank you everyone for listening, and goodbye.
Annie had an earache on a Saturday of all days. So her mom brought her to Minute Clinic at CVS, where you can see a provider, fill a prescription, and grab essentials like pain relief products, all in one visit. Even on evenings and weekends. You can even see us online with telehealth options. For quality, affordable care on your schedule, visit Minute Clinic at CVS. That's healthier made easier. Services vary by location. See minuteclinic.com for details.
If you've ever been a renter, you know it's stressful to find a place with everything you love and nothing you don't. But did you know Zillow does rentals? It makes the search so easy. They have filters for pretty much everything, so you can find that place that's in your budget, but also isn't a shoebox. Or a place that's close to your parents, but far enough they have to call first. Plus, it's easy to apply, request tours, and pay rent in the app. Head to ZillowRentals.com and find your sweet spot.